From our peoples at the New York Times, Big Candy is angry. As more states legalize recreational cannabis, Wrigley and others are suing over lookalike THC treats. They're protecting their brands, and also they argue your kids. So at first glance, when you see this Skittle package, it appears to be like the one sold in the candy aisle at the supermarket. It has block letters filled with white flowing rainbow red candy that replaces the dot above the letter I. But when you take a look at it, there's some small differences. Background pattern of a small stylized marijuana leaves, a warning label, and numbers that reveal the amount of THC, the intoxicating substance in cannabis, in each piece of candy. So the images included in a lawsuit from Wrigley Jr. Company, owned by the candy behemoth Mars Incorporated, filed in May against 5 companies for selling cannabis-infused edibles that look like our old friends Skittles, Starburst, and Lifesavers. Though the suit focuses on intellectual property rights, the plaintiffs also argue that copycat products could lead people, particularly children, to mistakenly ingest drugs. When you look at this, I mean, it's really uncanny. Like the Skittles label, the Skittles one above, and then the doppeldangers that they use on the bottom with the little marijuana leaves. We're going into a big crossroad here where Big Candy, vilified in the wellness era as a primary source of refined sugar, has become an unlikely sheriff in the wild west of marijuana consumption. So Cortez, this is a real big issue here. I'm looking at a picture of Starburst and Cannaburst, and they're both
the reason why I'm explaining to you what happened, man. When they started making vapor flavors and like candy vapor flavors like strawberry and all that stuff, that stuff started selling, man. It started selling off the shelves. They are marketing, the Kansas people ain't gonna come out and say it, they are marketing a specific population, man. Which unfortunately are kids. Wrigley has every right to go after them, and they need to get them, because what's going to happen if they lose this case, man? You're going to have all types of people out here feeling as though that they can make duplicates or rip-offs of some of these popular candy flavors. Like, for example, they could do something with Twix. Come out with the Twix. You know how they got the marijuana bars or whatever? They can do the same thing with Twix bar, man. Make that bad boy, repackage it and everything, and call it Wix.
Bro, I'm looking at Lifesavers gummies, the regular wild berry gummies, and they got a
they look just like
medicated gummies. And all you see, if you don't notice the marijuana leaf, you would think it's just candy. But the packaging, coloring, almost all the same.
Yeah, and they got to stop that, man, because it messes up their brand, because kids relate to that. They see that, and then it's that culture. Even if they're not taking it, they see it. They think when they become bigger, like, oh, they might get it mixed up, or they might buy into it, like, oh, it's the candy I used to have when I was little. So I mean, it's a shame that they're doing it. I knew it was going to happen when they started doing it with vapors, where they start coming out with the flavors and all that cherry flavor, orange flavor. And the stuff just picked up like wildfire, man. I never forget. I saw one of my health teachers at school about it. They were like, Chad, it is crazy out here right now. Which is like a couple years ago, it wasn't the vapor, when they were selling the electric cigarettes or whatever. They weren't doing too good. But when they start coming out with flavors, candy style flavors, shit went through the roof, man. Now you got minors smoking them and everybody else smoking them right now.
Yeah, that's true. GPS, we got a majority of the states that now allow the use of medical marijuana, which Alabama joined this list. And New York is obviously, they're ramping up and getting their legalized recreational marijuana going. So, it's very scary. Kids, number one, they shouldn't be nowhere near any of these medical marijuana dispensaries. But you never know if somebody walking around might say to a kid, hey, you want some Starburst or something like that? And it's a Cannaburst, and these gummies are sour, but they have 500 milligrams of THC. This kind of goes to the next level to the marijuana brownies from back in the day.
the teenagers themselves may not be able to get it, but they're in close proximity to people who do. So sad to say, they're going to get some of this, unless you tell them specifically, look, I can't be around. Like, okay, my son right now, he left here talking about today he was going to Great Adventure. I don't know if he's at Great Adventure, Dorney Park, Hershey Park. I have no clue right now. I call him up and he can say anything. Hopefully, there's enough trust in your relationship with your children that, hopefully as a parent, you're doing all you can do. You sent them off in a responsible way. You did all you can do. And this is all you can do is warn your kids, look, this is what this does. Now, it may say this, you may experience that, but this is what this does. It's weed. Acts differently. And you need to stay away if you want to, unless you want to do your own thing, build your own brand, have your own company, you don't answer to nobody, fine. But as long as you punch in the clock and you're held by drug and alcohol rules, you stay away from this.
Your daughter loves Halloween. How scary is this now when people have these like Skittles and Starbursts that look like regular candy but could be THC inside?
Oh man, you gotta check their candy, bro. Check their candy and make sure you tell them. Like, I know with my daughter, I tell her, do not eat anything until we get in the house. Let me check over it. And she follows, she understands why. I explained to her, I was like, because something can be wrong with the candy and I need to be able to pull it out so you don't get sick or I don't get sick.
That's right.
That's right. I still remember stories from my elementary school days where the teacher would say he would take his kids out and, if they ever got any fruit, they would throw the fruit out automatically.
Oh yeah.
Him and his wife. Now, mind you, this goes back to the 80s. Not double O's, not 90s, the 80s.
Even the 70s, too. I remember Halloween, the movie, actually had that incident in their movie.
And the reason is that if people were putting razor blades and apples and oranges and bananas or whatever, and you wouldn't know it until you bit in it.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
No good.
You wouldn't necessarily look for it, right? So all fruit gets thrown out, right?
Baked goods too, man. Cakes or whatever, you threw that shit out.
Yep. Got that right.
I mean, it's like, wow, you take a very innocent thing and you make it one of the most evil things possible. I'm telling, look, if it was me, when I run for president on 9-3 platform, this will be up for bat.
There you go. All right. We got to make sure that, if the companies are going to make these candies or whatever, number one, make sure you put 18 and over. Make sure it's in a section where nobody can get them and give them to anybody younger, we hope. But also just change the look of the front so kids don't mistake it for Lifesavers or for Skittles or whatever else. It's that simple, But emphasize that there is THC, not like a little marker that says 500 milligrams. No, say it's THC candy or whatever. Something that people are going to understand it so they won't mistake it for anything else. So that's my 2 cents worth about this.